Ah. So how are you? How's things going? How's business? Not doing good?
My team is good. I'm still enjoying our group. I have like 10 of us. So yeah, I mean, that's going fine.
10 challengers or 10 coaches?
No, 2 coaches. One just wants a discount.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I recruited 10 coaches a month minimum when I first started because I was like going hard. And it took 9 months to bring on somebody who finally like went diamond, like Audrey, you know?
Yes.
But look at all those coaches that I recruited, and some of them made emerald, some of them got close to diamond, but I didn't get a true player. It was like 9 months into the business. So no, but as long as you are doing it, it will happen and they will come. But no, you can't read. It's past bedtime. Go. No reading.
Are you drinking raw? What is that? Oh, is that hydrate?
It's energized.
Energized.
Oh, okay. We like that one. It looks like it glows in the dark, but it's so
I have to put away my glasses. Every day she forgets. Every day.
Okay, wait. Before everyone gets on, hopefully there's more. Can I ask one quick question?
Please.
Back to inviting. So within those like 10 contacts you're making a day, are you some saying, hey man, what's up? I saw you went out tree hunting with your family. You know, are you doing some of that and saying, hey, come into my man cave, like here's what we got going on, you know, because people are like catching on to this. You're trying to bait me and get me in. I'm like, but I'm not. I'm trying to be your friend. You know, how do I bring it around?
Yeah.
And I really care about you.
People are, like, because of the climate of the internet and how everybody is a small business owner today, it becomes so obvious. Mm-hmm. You can tell when you go, hello? And they go, hello, ma'am, I'm calling from, and you're like, oh my God. Like you already know it's coming, you know? Yeah. And people, so we are so good at spotting it out that if there's even a hint in your approach, people will see it. They will see it coming from a mile away. And that some of my best coaches and some of my most prized challengers are people that didn't sign up for a year or longer, because I 100% became a master at just becoming friends with people.
So if you're getting that, then you need to focus more on friendship.
Yeah.
Only like don't even talk about
maybe, and I'm not saying this is, but maybe you're messaging people because you're supposed to message people and not because you're genuinely interested in the person you're messaging.
True. Well, yeah, I mean.
So I would change it. Yes. And I would change it to where you are adding a lot of people through going out and meeting them in public and things like that. Meeting people in person really generates a level of friendship with people that you just can't get on the internet. And that's why when you get on live calls, suddenly the relationship becomes real. It's not just a little tiny thumbnail of a picture with a long post. That it changes when you're actually communicating with somebody in person. So I would add and this is what we got really good at, was we meet people in public. And if I had a conversation with you longer than 30 seconds, I was going to get you to add me on Facebook.
But so from what you're talking about, I knew that when I messaged people were already had that idea that, oh, she just messaged me.
Don't come out.
Yeah. Well, and I already knew that's what they thought. So I did the opposite of what they expected. And a lot of like, sometimes I wouldn't even bring it up. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you're messaging people, it's going to show you on their mm-hmm. on their news feed. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I would message people, and I would just message people about, you know, like, how are you doing? So like, what's up?
Straight up jabs. Have you read the book Jab, 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 Right Hook?
No, it's on my list of your recommendations, but
because it's literally what we're talking about.
So then while you message somebody, mm-hmm. you're going to come up on their news feed. And this is where
It's my analogy of bouncing the ball off the window.
So hopefully while you're doing this, you have like
Tucker, shut up.
It's like sometimes I make a post before I even start my messaging. So that way, as soon as I start messaging people, I would pop up on their news feed, and then I would not bring up Beachbody at all. And I did this in person too. I would never bring up Beachbody. And if somebody else brought up Beachbody, I would quickly change the subject. It got to the point where I feel like I was making it weird because I didn't want to talk about it in person.
This is something that I taught Tisha early on because I went to the recruiting school in the Army. So I learned a lot of sales tactics there. And I taught Tisha to downplay everything. Always. Everything's not a big deal. No. You know? So whether it's people needing to put in their social security number when they sign up as a coach, and it's only $160, like that sort of. So I got only was a big word in my vocabulary when it came time. People be like, "Oh, so you're doing that Beachbody coaching thing?" And I'd be like, yeah, it's been pretty cool. Like just downplay it all because then when I go into my and then turn it around, and that's another thing about being a professional question asker, but then I would go back into my posts, and my posting is where I would pour my heart out. And if you want an example, today I just made a post about it has to do with acting and stuff, but that's my market, Go ahead. Yeah.
But that's it.
It's about I pour my heart into that, so that way when people meet me, I can just sit there like this, and they are like,
they come to you.
They're like, I know everything about that guy. They feel like they know me so well. So that way, all I have to do then is ask questions to get to know them.
I don't even do that. Well, I mean, okay, I do that, but
when I get to that point,
by the time I'm messaging people about, their day or their tree shopping day, they're asking me about the fitness thing. I don't have to bring it up because because so many times it's all about your Facebook's your storefront. And then when you send messages, that's what pops up. So I'm just there to be a friend. I mean, there comes to a time, usually by the end of the month, where we start hustling and we actually ask the question. But we've already talked to these people so many times about things that have nothing to do with Beachbody, and that it almost sidetracks them. Like I came out of nowhere.
That's important though, because you're saying you're messaging people and it's instantly coming off as like this is odd sort of thing. Because what if I called you, because I have your phone number in the Coach Online office, and tomorrow I call you and I go, hey, what's up? And you go, nothing, just hanging out with the kids. And I go, cool. What are you guys doing today? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's strange.
That's weird.
You're getting to something.
That's weird, right? Like, why are you messaging them? What are you going to talk to them about? And and the whole thing, and this is maybe why some of our past trainings don't really apply anymore. And that's because it's an evolving market of back when we started coaching, being a network marketer on Facebook was like, it was in its boom period where like, it wasn't.
No.
It was a window of opportunity. But I mean, the window of opportunity in telephone marketing is way past, right? It's way past, yet a new opportunity has come up. So it's up to us to find where is the opportunity now. And it's so obviously Instagram stories. Like that is it. I'm telling you right now. It's
I'll go back to that. Okay.
Yeah. It's where everybody's eyes are. Everybody's looking there. But for us to go onto Facebook Messenger and just say, I love that post about your kids and start a conversation with that, it's weird now, but it wasn't weird when we started this. We used to be able to go into yard sale pages, which Facebook doesn't even have anymore. They have the marketplace, thing. They used to be Facebook groups, and we would go in there and we would advertise our challenge groups. And it would blow up like or our free groups and stuff. But I'm saying but the market evolved and the market's going to evolve.
We don't do that anymore.
So one last thing, if you are messaging people and it's just, I saw you post about your dog, then yeah, that's probably going to happen now. I don't do that at all anymore. It's 100% about, do I have a reason to talk to this person? What is the bridge between us? Whether it's acting, whether it's photography, whether it's, we both have kids or whatever it is, remember I talked about the 5 keys, right? Whatever that connection point is between me and that person, I'm going to message you for a specific purpose of, have you read this book? I read this book and I thought of you, right? Like that sort of thing. And that allows me to build a relationship, but it is 100% chess and not checkers of I'm building a real friendship with these people. And you're going to get burned a lot doing that because you'll be friends with them and they won't.
I think that there's other ways to, it's not just sending messages to connect to people anymore.
No.
I think it's simply like if somebody asks, like people go to Facebook and they're like, I need a doctor reference. Like where's a good doctor in town? And like these silly little things like commenting whatever and giving your advice or whatever is growing that relationship. And then sometimes from there, that causes a reason to message, because sometimes I'd be like, hey, I see that you got a lot of comments about this, but I just wanted to warn you about whatever. So you're like, it's not just, you're not coming out of nowhere. Like I have a reason that I'm going to through Messenger. And I have one more other thing and I totally forgot.
Should have crossed your fingers.
That doesn't work.
It works, dude.
It doesn't work. It was good. And you were talking the whole time. And I was like, I'm about to say it.
Man, it would have been profound.
Okay. Another thing is if you look at these top leaders in Beachbody and you see what they're posting things that make people post underneath. Okay. Yeah. So, and once you figure out how to do it, it's easy to do, like the kind of topics that people want to give advice to. But, seriously, like, but it builds a relationship, right? People like to
give their 2 cents, man.
I hate that. It sucks that is a thing, and it totally is effective.
I'm not talking about like this or that, like which outfit should
No. I'm talking, of like, have you guys tried oil pooling for your teeth? I'm thinking about trying it. What is your? Like,
I did the cup and it blew up. I talked about the cup, but it was something that people. I'm like seriously curious about it, right? Mm. And when I made the post and I said women only, I had men comment.
Parenting advice.
Dude, I almost deleted that thread. I was like, please stop telling me.
Our 6-year-old boy is out of control, man. So we post, and we don't really care.
He's not out of control. He's a good kid.
Like we don't we have people in our lives that like we go to for parenting advice for real.
I didn't go to Facebook for real parenting advice.
But sometimes once we already know what we're gonna do, we post a question anyways, just so people comment a lot on it.
But people feel like their opinion is valued.
Help you, yeah.
And sometimes I get messages, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, here's a coupon for the cup," like, and then it starts. And then I had like these. I'm sorry, I had like
so passionate
3 girls constantly talking to me over and over because they decided to buy the cup when I bought the cup. So like they're like, it's happening. So like, and these are people that I normally don't talk to on the day-to-day basis, but now we have this connection. And fitness gets brought up.
Okay.
It's really strange.
Okay, so I have a lot of friends, and friendships are not hard for me, thankfully, and I'm friendly, and so I am friends with hundreds of people, who I do have like honest connections with. I guess they're just watching, so just do my thing. But where, okay, that's awesome. And so like then it translates, the inviting thing translates into keeping those connections, making those friendships deeper.
Yeah.
And a little tip. So sometimes it feels weird.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels weird because you're in this weird like limbo of like, do I ask the question or like, are we still building friendships? So I like to create an event. And the cool thing is when you create events now, it like.
we haven't done that in so long though.
Huh? Have you seen what Facebook did though?
No.
We should probably do that soon. Facebook creates notification for events now. It's like different. Like it shows up on the top of the thing saying, "Oh, you're interested in this event." So, anyways,
right.
Like it's like a reminder. It's not. Anyways, so so sometimes when there's these people that I really needed to ask the question, but like I'm in this weird limbo of like I feel like I would be pushing it if I invited because they're still kind of like icky about it. I would just send them an event invite, and if they see it, cool. If they don't, cool. But I would mask.
It's just another jab.
It's just another jab. Yeah. And a lot of times it'd be like, oh yeah, I really want to do that, but I just can't do that right now. Yeah. So then I'm like, all right, well, now it gives me a reason to follow up.
Patience is like the most underutilized skill in this game. But as far as inviting, like you have hundreds of friends, you wouldn't be friends with them unless there was something about them that you liked. But I would find the ones that you would be like, if this person joined me, this business would be so much more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Not they would be diamond and I would be amazing. I'd make so much money. This business would be more fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you build a community of people that you have. And most of our team doesn't come to our calls anymore because we've been doing this so long that they all go run their own team calls, like that. So we kind of just bring in newer people that come in, which is why sometimes we have 12 and sometimes we have 1. And that's,
I get
right. But I just still, and you still just throw them up, I still just throw them up on YouTube, and somehow these videos still get like 50 views, like people are watching them, I guess, but as far as the invite,
replay 10 times.
It's better. She's refreshing it every time. But what I would say for these people, especially the ones that you just are dying to do this with, is he being so? Can you Tuck, shut up.
Leave her alone.
He's like fighting our wiener dog.
They're not fighting. No.
This is what I would do. I would invite them, and I would make it incredibly personal.
To what?
To them.
No, what am I inviting them to?
Oh, coaching, always. I invite to coaching and default challenge groups. Every time.
And then because I feel like...
Because they can do both.
Inviting to coaching is more of a compliment.
And what you'll do is you will invite them to Challenger, and then you'll baby step them into discount coaching, and they'll stay there forever. Because you've just labeled them a discount coach. And it's so, so rare for discount coaches to explode. You have to recruit 30 of them to get 1. But if I can say, you and I can get extremely jacked and make money doing it, helping people.
If they're not fit yet, doesn't that scare them? They're like, fail.
Sometimes, for sure. In which case I'll say, I'll tell them, like I tell Jana, who I love to use as an example all the time, who Jana has lost 100 pounds and still has 100 pounds to go, but is an amazing coach because all she does is share her journey. And that's all it is. It's not about me being super fit and telling people how to work out. That's what Shanti does. My job is to give people the opportunity to change their life with what we have, to ask them the question. But as far as how to get them here, I'll read to you an example that I did. It's extremely personal, but you're going to see that it kind of follows a central theme. And I sent this to a friend of mine who's an actor that I did a movie with out in LA when we went out to LA together. And it was completely out of the blue that I sent this to him. I said, hey man, hope your movie in LA went good last week, but dude, look, I want you to take a look at working with me. I think you and I are cut from the same cloth, and that is rare, and I don't use that lightly. The drive, the mindset, the heart, I honestly believe the world will benefit from you becoming a coach with me. Plus, you will get healthy and fit to yourself too. Have you ever considered it? That's one. Right next to it is another one, and it says...
It's the same one.
Yeah, hold on. Right here. Hey man, how have you been doing with your workouts? Still going strong? I wanted to ask again because you're so damn inspiring, but have you given any more thought about joining Beachbody and doing what I do? You can actually make money while inspiring people through your journey, man. Turn your passion into your profession. Ha ha ha. And then another one. Hey Tiff, I hope those interviews went well and you and your husband are having a good summer. I wanted to reach out though and offer you the hand one more time. I know you had a lot of stresses in your life last year, but you are awesome. And I think you are a good person. I think you could do great things here and could help a lot of people. I mean that. Have you given it any more thought? I can't read. And consider doing what me and Smurfette do. All of those were very personal to that person based on a relationship that I had with them, that I had built with them. But they all followed kind of the same template of extreme personal compliment. Yep.
Oh yeah, overload with compliment.
Extreme personal compliment, and that's not. I think you're so amazing.
It's genuine.
Yeah,
and it's going to be different per person. It's not a copy and paste.
Right.
And the good thing is, when you do that, people aren't going to be mad because you invited them to your MLM.
Yeah.
They're actually going to be,
or
like,
they very thoughtfully reject you.
Yes.
Which is fine too, because then you can still invite them to the challenge group.
I've never been burned when I invited somebody with a compliment.
But it's, give them the compliment and then you go for the ask. And then you say, have you ever considered it? Have you ever considered doing what I do? Not, and you have to word it that way. If you word it, like,
are you interested?
Are you,
yeah.
Do you want to? Are you interested in? Because the moment they say no, it's kind of a conversation killer. But if you say, have you ever considered it? And they say, no, I've never considered it. You go, well, I think you should consider it, right? See, it's kind of open-ended. It's kind of a sales tactic, but it's the way you phrase it. And they say, you know what? I have been thinking about that. What is it? And then I give a brief 3-sentence overview on what coaching is. And then I say, I actually have a video that explains it really well, made by my upline. It's about 18 minutes long and would answer all your easy questions. And then afterwards, we could talk about any more in-depth ones. If I sent it over, would you take the time to check it out? Would you? Because I'm not going to beg you to watch my video. I'm doing you a favor right now. Yeah. And that's from GoPro, which is an amazing book. If you haven't read it yet, you can read it in like 2 days.
So you notice that all of this, we're not begging people. Yeah. We're just complimenting and offering. And if they're not interested, fine. But the more that you become less of the beggar and more of a, this is what I'm doing, then people are intrigued. They're like, ooh, maybe I could do that. Mm-hmm. But if you become the beggar, then you're like, oh, I'm doing you a favor.
So how many people are you trying to message every single day?
No, because I guess I'm not understanding what that message should include then. I was doing it for a while, and then people are like, they're like.
Yeah. So what I want you to focus on is kind of the rule of 3's, right? Or what is it called? The power of 3's? Power of 3's, yeah. And that is, I want you every single day to find some sort of opportunity to add 3 people on Facebook. That's it.
Sometimes that's.
Yep. Whether it's in person or in the grocery store. Hey. Or whether, so whether you're in the grocery store, whether you're online, whether you're at at church or at work or wherever you are, 3 people who aren't friends with you, you say, hey man, are you on Facebook? Let me find you real quick. Here, add yourself on Facebook, that sort of thing. 3 people. And then you're going to post at least 3 times on Facebook. That's the other power of 3, right?
A day.
Yeah. 3 times a day minimum on Facebook. Yeah. And that way you're going to have a lot of content, a lot of volume. So that way when you're adding these people and you're messaging these people and you're inviting these people, the first thing they're going to do is click on your profile. What are they going to see? Are they going to see that you shared that BuzzFeed video or that, oh, she has a cat? But what is this business that she's talking about?
Also remember that Facebook has changed. People don't want to see the picture perfect everything. They want to see the realness.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a whole nother call. Yeah.
You can put real, like vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Conversation on there that has nothing to do with Beachbody.
Yeah. So after that, you're going to message 3 people. And this is somebody from church, somebody you met through a MOPS group, or somebody you met, at work, right? Or somebody that through anything, through singing, right? Like anything. And you can just message them, right? So like if I watched a video of Sam Rockwell being interviewed by Sam Jones, and it's an amazing experience to watch, right? Like I have acting friends that I know would resonate with, and I could be like, watch this video right now, dude. Has nothing to do with Beachbody, right? But just watch the video right now. Because what I'm doing is I'm just building that relationship. That's all that is about. It's just building relationships. It's just message. So that's 3 times a day at least, and that's why it's the power of 3's. That's going out of something, whether it's just a, hey man, I miss you, like no homo, right? Like that sort of thing, right? Or if it's, check out this, I want to share this with you because it's awesome, right? Some sort of value to give, that sort of thing. 3 people every single day. And the last thing is 3 people are going to get the invite. But this is going to be hard to do in the beginning because there's really no traction. But as you message people and you are posting, and some of these posts need to be about Beachbody. So if you're posting 3 to 5 times every single day, and I go to your page because you message me out of the blue and you're like, hey, I haven't seen you since high school, dude. Like, you remember Mr. So-and-so? Like, ha, ha, ha. I think I was just thinking about him the other day and I saw your picture and I just wanted to say hi. So whatever, I'll be like, oh my God, Joy, I haven't seen her forever. And I click your page. I'm going to give you 3 to 5 scrolls through your newsfeed just to see what you're about. I need to see Beachbody at least once. So that way I know. So that, not because I'm not, and that post doesn't need to be join my challenge group or whatever, but it needs to be something to do with Beachbody. So that way I know, oh, she must be doing one of those Beachbody things. Okay. Yeah, no, Mr. Whatever. He was funny. Ha ha ha. Good to see you. Hope your family's good. Boom. That's it. But now I know that's the seed planted. So that way, every time you do post it, I go, oh yeah, she is doing that Beachbody thing. Cool. And then that right there is the tennis ball against the window over and over and over again. Because one day, I'm going to go to work and my boss is going to treat me like crap and I'm going to be miserable and I'm going to come home mad. I'm going to lash out at my kids. My son's going to say he hates me. My daughter's going to run away and my wife's going to yell at me about money. And then and she's going to go to sleep mad and I'm going to be sitting out here in the living room because I don't want to go in there and I don't want to go drink at the bar because I'm broke. So I'm sitting here staring at Netflix and I'm going to be miserable. I'm going to pull up my phone and I'm going to give it one scroll and there you are. And I'm going to say, crap. And you're going to get this message from me. Joy, listen, I know this might seem weird and just dismiss me if I'm being crazy, but I've been seeing you've been doing this online coaching thing and you just seem so happy and you're like so positive all the time. I need something. I can't keep doing what I'm doing. Can you help me? And I know because I've gotten that message so many times, all because it's just this. And you're not don't try to break anybody's window with your ball. This is what I'm doing. I'm celebrating my challengers. I'm celebrating myself. I'm celebrating the world because this place is amazing and you could have been born in Siberia, like this is all like celebrate. That's it. And then one day I'm going to open my window and catch that ball, but it's not, who's to know if it's going to be one day from now? Because I've had that where I've added people and talked to them. They go, oh my God, you do Beachbody? I want to do that. Right. Or it's going to be, I have people for 4 years, they've watched me as a coach, yeah.
Well, most of the people that we invite, they're interested, but they don't commit to right away.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when you ask that question,
the Sloans took a year to sign up.
Sometimes when you ask that question, they're not going to be open to it at that moment because life is happening.
Just plant that seed.
But like Brian said, that eventually they're going to see that post one day and they're going to be like,
just the right time.
For
Anthony and Jennifer, Anthony and Jennifer Sloan, who are probably the top coaches in Rocket Nation. They're both full-time Beachbody and all that stuff. For him, we were in the Army together and he got out and he started managing a restaurant. He worked 80 hours a week and he was drinking like crazy and he was miserable and his PTSD was driving him crazy and his marriage was falling apart. And then one day Jennifer said she needed to change and she started exercising because she wasn't feeling good about herself. She started coaching with us and he was incredibly unsupportive of her. It wasn't until one day he came home absolutely beat down and miserable, and she was plugged into the Beachbody community and having a great time, that it was undeniable of the change that was happening. And that's something that I remember when he told it, because exactly the same thing happened to me when Tisha started this, because she started coaching before I did. And I watched her change before my very eyes as she read these books that they were telling her to read. And she started to do things that she didn't normally do, like, talk to people, like go outside, and she started to do these things that she didn't do before. And it was just obviously this is something, and it's something positive because I was loving the person that she was becoming. So that drew me in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that drew me in. But as you do this, it's going to come in waves that the moment you sign up, there'll be 10 people that'll be like, I'll go with you, like sweet. But then there's people who are like, oh, is that out? Oh, I'll get that next week. Right. And then there's the people who are like, oh, prove to me that it works before I sign up. Mm-hmm. And then there's the people who are like, I'm never signing up. All of them are going to sign up. I promise you, doing this for 4 years, everybody signs up, right? As long as you do the things that you're supposed to do and you do power of 3's every day. Every day. That's your power hour, or the power of 3's, right? And then eventually everybody signs up, but it comes through your consistency of showing them that you can do this and that you can do it even when you do your power of threes and nobody even responds. You send out all those messages and nobody even responds. You're like, oh, well, they all saw it, but nobody responded. But I did my work. And I don't want you to base your success as a coach on Success Club. I want you to base it on the work.
Good to hear.
No, I want you to base it on the work. So if you did not do work this month, then you failed. And that's okay to fail, because it doesn't make you a failure. Quitting makes you a failure, right? But it failed, and that's okay. But tomorrow starts anew. And all you have to do every single day for the month is the power of threes. That's it. And that if you can do the power of threes, that is the success. That
no, right now. I want to. Thank you.
Instead of celebrating the people that are signing up, celebrate the fact that you did the work. And I'm telling you that, and the same concept applies in the book Go for No, which is an amazing book. By the way, if you haven't read that book, it's only like 80 pages, and if you're a new coach, you need to be reading these books, because I'm listing a lot of books that are all amazing, and you need to get them into your mind, all of them. Good. And then you go back and you like the Slight Edge. Like I've listened to the Slight Edge the whole way through like 12 times. It's my favorite book ever. But you go through and you start to do these things, and you celebrate the fact that you're doing the things, and the success and the people signing up comes as a byproduct of you doing actual work.
It's just Kyle was saying he was struggling. Was it last month or the month before? And all the one thing that they have mastered is showing up no matter what, and doing the bare minimum no matter what. And because of them showing up for so many months and inviting people that didn't say yes at the time, all his Success Club, I think they made Success Club 10 that month, all came from people that they'd asked prior and then said, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And it was totally random. And that we call those like mysterious, awesome Success Club points.
We do call them that.
Because you don't know they're coming. And then you get a message and you're like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I got 2 of those messages a couple of days ago of people that I talked to for months and months and months, and then finally said they were ready. So that's cool when that happens. But imagine, like, if you don't message anybody else, then you made yourself $60, like that's it, But if you're doing the power of threes every single day, all of those messages will start popping up pretty regularly. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Cool. Any other questions on the invite sort of thing and the power of threes?
Let's review it. So it's post on Facebook 3 times a day with just valuable content from my life, whatever. 3
Instagram stories too.
Oh my gosh, it's so easy to Instagram stories.
Stories should be part of your power threes. Yeah.
Okay. And then 3, just put value in people's life. Like, if I experience something like a motivational thing on YouTube, just share it. Like,
no. Don't share It needs to be your content. Your content. So if you watched an amazing video on YouTube, hit record and regurgitate it.
I think she's talking about messages. Like you said, you watched an interview and it was really awesome. So you sent an interview out to your 3 acting friends.
Oh yeah, no. She's talking about posting.
Are you?
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about what Tisha said.
Got it. Then cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If you experience something and you know that your friend would totally relate to that, share that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do I have that much valuable things that happen to me every day as a mom? I don't know. Do I?
Well, it doesn't have to be.
Right. It doesn't have to be game breaking or game changing thing. Tisha and you can go to Tisha's YouTube channel and scroll way down. She used to have a series called Super Mom in Training, and it was so amazing that if you go to, and what she used to do is do like the things that children do and how you need to be a new mother, because it was all toddler stuff, how to get your baby to stop crying, how to get your toddler to stop crying, and she would just try different tactics and record them, and none of them worked, Oh, it was going to grandpa's house that finally got him to stop crying, but if you do that's the kind of stuff that everybody relates to, because everybody on this call all went, You know, like everybody relates to that, but that was it. So no. David Ingram is the guy that I use as an example. He's a 15-star diamond coach with Beachbody. And before he was a Beachbody coach, he would describe himself as an old, fat, white accountant. He was the most boring man in the entire world. That he did, he said he did nothing. He was an accountant at work. He came home and he watched football and drank beer. Like that was his life, you know, like that was it. The dude is a 15-star diamond coach now. How? Not because his life became like incredibly exciting, because he got incredibly good at talking about his story of being an old, fat, white accountant. Like that was it. Because a guy who used to jump out of airplanes and kill people for a living, I would never sign up with David Ingram, because what do we have in common? You know, nothing. But you know who he appeals to? Old, fat, white accountants. I mean, there's a lot of them out there, isn't there?
I signed up a lot of stay-at-home moms when I first started.
Right. How many moms are out there who are trying to figure out parenting? One bad idea to go after that market, because it is like the most targeted market in all MLM ever, you know. But if you can find that niche of somebody who's a professional entertainer who has trouble finding time to stay fit, like Disney princesses need to look good, you know. That seems like a pretty specific market to be in, you know, right? Actors need to look good unless you're deliberately not looking good, you know, like that makes sense too. But most actors want to look good. So it gives me, like, obviously I can help you, you know, that sort of thing. So I found a very specific market to be in. So you need to find a very specific market, because talking to Jesus-loving moms, it's too big. It's too big and it's too targeted. It's targeted. It works. Busy. And what is it? The wine MLM. Too loud. I don't even know what other MLMs are out anymore, right? But all the MLMs are all going after the boss girl, you know, like that sort of thing. You got to find something more niche specific, and that is how you're going to be very, very successful.
So even if I just think of some people that I know. I know people who are super into running. I don't run, but people like to run. It's weird. And they have built their whole business around running, even though our fitness has no running in it. Right. I don't know how they did it, but they created like a mom's jogging group, and then just built on that. So that's just an example.
Don Murphy owns America's largest Gold's Gym in New York, and he built an entire add-on to where you could only go in it if you had a Beachbody On Demand membership. What? And you could go in there and he had a bunch of TVs that were hooked up to like Roku or something, and you can log into your on-demand account and stream your workout to the TV. And he had all the equipment that you would need for Beachbody workouts in there.
That's genius.
Oh, that's cool.
He is incredibly successful as a coach, and he owns the Gold's Gym, the biggest Gold's Gym, you know, per square footage or whatever. But I'm saying, like, these are people who got incredibly niche specific for what exactly they were trying to accomplish. But how many people are on Facebook or even Instagram stories right now posting about their secret shake that makes them feel good and have lots of energy? That's why you never see me post my stupid shaker cup, because everybody has one. Find other ways to show what we do. And normally I do it by shoving positivity down people's throat, because the people that are drawn to me because it's the way that I am without personal development are extremely cynical. Extremely cynical. I can find any way to make fun of anything. You know, like I'll make fun of that Christmas tree right now. You know, like anything in the world.
I'll make fun of both sides of an argument.
Yeah. Like if I say like a Democrat and Republican thing, like I'll side with both of them to make them both look stupid. You know, like anything I want to do. Okay. And that's just, so a lot of those people are drawn to me. So I use personal development to punch them all in the face with what they can do.
Happiness.
With what's possible. If you can get the cynicism out of your brain and start getting focused on what you want to attack, you're going to accomplish great things, because cynical people are notoriously great entrepreneurs because they don't care what people think about them, right? So find the thing that you are or that you want to be.
Sit down and you just got to write it out. Like, what is interesting
this
about
pre-workout's like I'm on Coke, you know, like I'm
okay. No.
Audrey, do you have anything to add? Because I know we both listened to the Monday wake up call, and that was like the big idea. You have to have a big idea. I'm like, what's my big idea?
Trina, great. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Or no. Oh. Well, yeah, me and Joy talked, and yeah, our big idea is highly Christian, so that kind of blows that.
No, it's not. It's not. And listen,
but
hold on. Too many people are going, you can be a boss girl and love Jesus. So if you're going to do the Christian thing, it needs to be super targeted. So like going to your church and running a fit club. That is something that nobody else is doing.
Yeah, I've that at my church. We were looking to call it Faith Over Fear Fitness, and then kind of have Warrior Nation. Ever since you sent me that thing with your Google document, I'm like, I love the nation thing, I love the rocket, but we were going with and strength, and I was like, that doesn't fit, but it fits for like a vision that I have later on. But things are, really rocky right now in our world.
Yeah.
And there's one of the people that my husband has been working with is a DJ. He's an MC for weddings. So we were kind of looking to hook up maybe with the wedding business and target brides.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Their life before they get married and somehow doing that. But he was like, Kyle's like, oh yeah, you could just buy a whole bunch of them. And I'm like, no, because Beachbody needs their like personal, like, I don't want to have to be the in-between person. Like, I'm not going to collect all these accounts and have them. So I'm not sure how that would work, but we'll have to figure it out. But somehow if they sign up to use them as a DJ, then they would also have the opportunity, I guess, to use us as coaches. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
you could create a website.
You could offer it
obviously.
to, you can offer it to like a fit club, and the fit club could be like the gate to joining your challenge group on a day-to-day basis. So if you said you had that DJ, they reach out to them, say also, have him refer you guys to like a free weekly workout. And then from there I feel like fit clubs are amazing if you can work them right and you can make it is a great funnel. And if you have somebody
it's such a broad area, because like he does weddings out where you guys are, I mean, all over, the greater Orlando area. So to have one local fit club place would be kind of difficult. He was going to
a traveling fit club
and membership, like add just an extra $100 to their package. So they go to wedding shows, and it would be like, okay, not only do you get like free uplighting or a free gobo or things like that, but you can also, get a Beachbody on demand. But he would up the price. So he would he would include the $100 for the on demand membership in the price. I don't know. I don't know how it all works, but we gotta talk about it.
Now, to kind of backtrack a little bit and touch on something that you mentioned, I would caution the difference between a bubble and walls. If the Rocket Nation is a bubble, right? It's a thing that started off with 10, really, because me and Tisha started the team with about 36 of our coaches, our downline, and the 5 keys to my heart and the 5 keys to Tisha's heart, we were all connected through that, and it would all web back up into these things. But the Rocket Nation, which back then was called Team Rocket, were very much a bubble of people that were very different, and that the Sloans came in, and they are incredibly religious, and they are the ones that really brought hardcore Christianity into the Rocket Nation. And now that's why it's kind of split on like how some people are super Christian and some people aren't, sort of thing. But it's a bubble, because what if I had named this team veterans and actors looking to get fit?
And then we had
who wouldn't be here?
And then
and this whole, and I know what you're trying to say, and this exact thing happened in Beachbody, and a lot of top coaches like got reamed in the wallet because they called their teams fit girls, fit women trying to take over the world, or whatever.
But what if Brian wanted to join?
What if the husband like me said, I'm ready to start Beachbody, and they go, this is all women. Right. Oh, I can't do this, right? Sort of thing. So going the Christian route with Beachbody is great, because you're going to form a bubble, but that bubble is going to be made out of concrete, because people like me aren't going to come in. because I like Jesus, cool, but it doesn't take over my life. So I would never join. And I would say I would probably be a pretty good coach to have in your team. So if you're going to do a very niche specific thing, I would ensure that it's a bubble and not walls.
So you're going to, so for example, like you're going to keep it around your business only. Does it make sense? Like it's
well, like Warrior Nation was going to be the kind of the.
That's it. That's the winner then. Yeah.
Because for us, Warrior Nation means putting on the armor of Christ, but it doesn't have to mean that. You know, it can mean fighting and all kinds of things. So.
Mm-hmm. That would totally work. Yeah, that would totally work for sure. And then keeping Jesus as one of your 5 keys. So that way you have that to come in, because when it's just the one key, it's too broad. It's too big.
5. So you literally sat down and came up with 5 different keys.
Oh my goodness. I got to get you that video. Listen, this is it's one of the best team calls we've ever had. Caleb Thomas, Coach Caleb.
It's like your brand.
Oh, Coach Caleb.
Yeah. Coach Caleb. He's very big on YouTube with Beachbody training videos. He was a friend of ours, and he came on and did a team call for the Rocket Nation. And he talked about your heart and how to be successful as a coach, and that your way to connect with other people is through your heart. And that there are 5 locks on your heart, and you need to find the keys to unlock those that allow you to connect with 5 different types of people. And those people are very specific to you. So he wouldn't even tell us what his 5 keys were, because he's like, then you'll try to steal it, but that wouldn't work for you because it needs to be you. Obviously, Christianity is one of your guys' 5 keys, but it's just one. You are not all Jesus, because if you are all Jesus, then we're not going to have a lot to talk about after about 15 minutes.
Sure. Right? I get it.
There's more to you. You're a dancer. That's another one. Audrey, you're a dancer, right? I know you're a dancer. Yeah. So that's obviously another key to your heart.
I would make it more broad. You're an entertainer.
Sure. Yeah. But then it's up to you to sit, and it took me a while. Like
it's like
a huge trial and error of figuring out what are my 5 keys. And then if you go to a top coach's page who's like really killing it, and you scroll, you'll see those 5 things being talked about over and over and over again. And that's it. I just talk about being a dad, being an actor, being a war hero, right? Like a war hero. Like I just talk about all these 5 different things over and over and over again. And I know that the people who are super into Jesus aren't going to be interested in my posts. But the people who are actors, dads, and war heroes are going to be. And those are the people that I'm trying to connect with. And that through the branching of webs, you start to get a lot of people into the bubble. But that's why I'm saying.
The cool thing is each of those people have their own 5. So they're going to bring in.
So Joy and I are connected through the veteran thing. Bam. And suddenly she joins my team, but she's hardcore religious, right? So now she's going to bring in a bunch of people who are hardcore religious, and that's why it needs to be a bubble. So that way everyone can survive, and not just survive, everyone can thrive in this one unique space where we all have this common thing, this one thing in common, of trying to help people, trying to help ourselves, sort of thing. Go forward.
Jessica Nelson's super into Christianity too.
But she never talks about it in her team pages.
It's very blue moon that she does.
It's very every once in a while. But if you meet her in person, especially if you go to her house is decked out with all sorts of Christian stuff. Yeah. But it's about finding she's a great house. Great house. You have 5 things that you need to figure out that make you. Right. And they need to make these very specific, because as soon as you start saying, I like Jesus, I'm a mom, I like to cook, like it's not specific enough, and it's going to get very, very hard to reach those markets.
And the good thing is you'll have something to talk. You have an audience to talk to. You're like, all right.
Right. So Tisha, to give the example, is she became a video game creator making game art randomly.
It was totally random.
So random. But me, being the amazing husband that I am, was like, go ahead, babe. Go do your thing, right? Go. Right? And she did. But she wouldn't talk about it on Facebook. And she was in school for 6 months, and she still wasn't talking about video game art on her Facebook. And she said, and I'm kind of putting you on blast, but she said, nobody on my Facebook is interested in that. And I said, talk about it, and the people who are interested in it will show up.
I need more of those people.
That if you continue to add people on Facebook, and if I'm doing the power of threes and I'm adding 3 people a day on Facebook and I'm doing the things that I'm interested in, so you're at school doing game art and you're adding those people on Facebook, suddenly people are going to start having conversations about game art on your Facebook page. And I guess we can kind of wrap this.
It's so funny is all the artists came out of the woodwork when I started posting about it. People that I had no idea were artists.
And I put myself on blast, and this might be a good place to kind of wrap this up. When I first started coaching, I was very, very motivated to do this. Like I said, we were recruiting 10 coaches a month when we first started coaching, right? Just killing it, right? So I started to learn the skills to do this because, like I said, I used to jump at airplanes and kill people. That was my job. So I wasn't very good with Facebook. And I love seeing my time hop from 2008, 2009. Like, cause I'm like the worst Facebook poster ever.
Really terrible.
Yeah. But when I said I was going to do this, I was like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to learn how to do this. So I got on YouTube and Google and I started learning, and I really started to learn from Ray Higdon, Scotty Hobbs, and Lindsay Matway. They were the huge network marketers in our space of the time. And I just started absorbing all their content. In doing so, I started to create this mask, this weird blend of Scotty Hobbs and Lindsay Matway meets Coachbryanbachman. And I started to put that on, but I was good, man. And I was so good at it, but I started blasting it into social space. So I started, and people were signing up. The problem was that I was signing up these people who were in love with this mask. So when they came on to calls like this, or they met me in person, it started to be you're not exactly who I thought you were sort of thing. And it just brought every time people would sign up, they'd go for 4 months and then just boom, like they're not interested anymore sort of thing. And we actually just got rid of the last one, like there was taking forever to quit, but like there was so much tension because we just didn't relate to her at all in any space. Like we were just such polar opposites, but she had joined because she was in love with this mask that we were wearing. And one day, and I'm getting 50 likes and 20 comments in every post. I'm killing it in social media. And I just am fed up. So I made a post that Coachbryanbachman would make that had the F word in it. Like it was super, super Coachbryanbachman-y. And the post had just as much engagement. But every single person that was commenting and liking, I had never seen. But I had tons of friends on Facebook because I was very good at the power of threes. And these were people that were watching what I was doing before, but it didn't touch any one of their 5 keys. But when I became myself, I started to connect with these people. And everybody who normally liked my post didn't. Everyone who normally commented on my post didn't. But these were the people that I was actually connecting with. And I just kind of caught myself in my own nonsense of I wasn't being myself online. And I was being what I thought a Beachbody coach was supposed to be. But when I started to be myself and be myself unapologetically, I started to connect with people much deeper. And that's the key to forming these lasting relationships that are going to span years and years and years and grow your business and just make your life better. Is don't connect with people, connect deeply with people. Find connection points with people that are almost hard to explain. And if doing that, that's how you can, your cousin, for example, right? Like you can not see your cousin for 10 years and then you show up and you just pick up right where you left off, right? That's how me and Anthony Sloan are. That we can not see each other for a year and then we go to Summit and we just are like, just don't skip a beat, right? Because we're just so connected. Joy. Yes.
So good stuff. I can't, so relates to me. But like how I'm a good thing I'm an extrovert because I can relate to that. I can do that and I feel I do that. But like people like my husband, no, not like that. Wouldn't make best friends, doesn't make friends easy, so I don't know what advice you'd have for that. Taking a person who's definitely an introvert and, I'm like, tell people I can't follow up. I'm like, wow, okay, you can ask them, like, what do you think of this shape? What did you like it? You know, can I follow up with, you know, and so like trying to get them out of the box.
You are describing Tisha, and I think that, oh, there you are. Yeah, you were describing Tisha, and I think that next Tisha should tell her story of what it was like for her before Beachbody, and then what happened to her once she started to read this little thing called personal development and what it did to her life. And because Tisha was the person who like had to take 3 deep breaths before she walked up to the checkout counter, you know, like incredibly introverted and awkward.
Like, don't make eye contact with me. Yeah. Why are you talking to me?
Yeah. And that was her completely. And I relate to people who are introverted by having stories of people that I know who are introverted, like Jana Henry. You know, like Jana is incredibly introverted as well. And she wears the mask of an extrovert. So I use her story of how she's so bubbly and everything online, but then she sends me personal messages like about to explode, you know? And what I do to guide her of, got to get outside that comfort zone and then go recharge.
Also, as a person who is an introvert, I'm an introvert extrovert.
I'm the opposite, like, right? Like, I'm the kind of person that I'm super extroverted, but I like to be alone to recharge. Crowds don't energize me. Those are like extroverted extroverts, right?
I don't know.
Audrey, you can just talk.
Oh, I was just trying to relate. I think I'm more of an extrovert, but then I'm not extroverted online. Like, I actually hate being on Facebook.
They don't. Yeah.
That's kind of a problem. Like,
no, it's not a problem.
I don't like.
No, then don't.
So
I got very.
It's like so forceful for me just to do one post. Like, it takes so much. It's ridiculous how long it takes, and it's not even great material. So I don't know what my problem is with that, but I need to fix that somehow.
Well, I would say that you would have to decide: do you want to be a Beachbody coach on Facebook? Do you want to be a Beachbody coach on Instagram? Or do you want to be a Beachbody coach in person? Because if you go anywhere in Northeast US and you find Beachbody coaches there, every single one of them are in Bob Lucido and Jason Diebold's downline.
Because they don't do Facebook.
And yet go to their Facebook pages and you're like, who are, like, these guys don't post on Facebook at all. Because they became incredibly good at doing fit clubs and networking locally. And they are the ones that coined the phrase to grow locally, expand globally. Grow local, let other people go on Facebook and recruit people in California. But they got incredibly good at that. I am better in person, but I didn't want to limit myself. So I did both. But when I first started coaching, before I even took the mantle of coach and I started doing like the thing that husbands do of like, my wife's doing this thing, you know, like that sort of thing. I was recruiting 5 people a month because I was just hanging out in person, and people were like, I saw your wife is doing that thing, huh? And I was like, yeah, she's doing that thing. I don't know, whatever, you know, but like, I can get you in touch, you know, and like get you hooked up if you want. Like, that was how I sold people, you know, like I was like, oh, I don't do that.
He was totally doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I would say is that Holly is a coach because I grew locally. When I showed up in Orlando, there were no Beachbody coaches from the Rocket Nation in Orlando. There was no Beachbody coaches from the Rocket Nation in Florida. But now there's 100, you know, because we're here. And all I started doing was we would go out to lunch, and Selena Baxter is a coach because she was our waitress, you know, and we were like, what's your name? Hi.
And you know how we started talking? It wasn't fitness. We started talking about schools.
Schools, yeah. That's how we get talked. Yeah. And that was it. Just add on Facebook, but you're doing 3 to 5 posts a day. So eventually Selena goes, what are you doing? You're doing like coaching things? And I need to kind of tone things up. Can you help me? That's how it happens.
And her husband was super rich, but she never sees him.
Yeah.
So she's like, I would like to make some money so he doesn't have to work all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I would say, that if you don't want to be on Facebook, don't be on Facebook. Be on Instagram stories, because that's easy and actually kind of fun compared to Facebook. Fun.
You don't have to think about things to write.
Yeah, little 5-second little ha-has, you know, whatever.
And if you don't look pretty that day, you just put a filter on and boom.
And you're at Disney World and stuff. So like you can, you know, that's some pretty good background to have in your videos, you know, to kind of just tag your hometown, you know, like that sort of stuff.
Do you Disney bound? Is that what it's called? Disney bounding? Is that what it's called? Disney. It's like where you dress up as a character, but you don't really dress up as a character because you can't dress up as a character. But like that day, you'd wear like a yellow skirt with a yellow blouse, and you put your hair in a bun, and you wear like a rose necklace, and you. I forget what, like people do that. They like, I don't know.
Yeah, even just Christmas shopping lately with Disney online, I've seen a lot of, they have like adult costumes that aren't really costumes.
Yeah.
They're just like bits that are half. No, but I don't do, I set up an Instagram account literally because you talked about Instagram once and, you know, recently in your thing. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get on that. And then I have a thing of making something too big out of nothing. Like it's super small, this huge thing. I'm like, I don't know how to do it.
All right,
but
so
I need to figure it out.
A lot of people are afraid of Instagram, and if you're afraid, if you don't even know what to do, like you're looking at it, you heard what I'm saying, I need you to get involved in the community before you even try to jump in and grow a business on there. And when you do that, it's going to teach you how Instagram works naturally. So whatever you're interested in, whether it be nutrition,
dancing,
or fashion, or makeup, or dancing, or whatever, go to the search bar and just search
those
and
hashtags.
Then scroll, because it's some really cool stuff on there. There's some really cool stuff on there. Like I look up hair colors.
And I'd challenge you to see how easy it is too. And that's find the cutest picture of you that you have and post it on there and put hashtag Disney, hashtag, you know, dancer, hashtag whatever, you know, like that. And just watch how much people, like how active Instagram is compared, like in Facebook, you're like, oh, I got 50 likes. Cool. You know, but on Instagram, you're going to get 500, you know, like it's just tons of engagement.
Yeah. Well,
but I would say if social media overwhelms you, then I would learn to be more purposeful in person, because people aren't going to know what you're doing unless you carry around your Shakeology Shake Cup, which is a talking point to bring in person, which I would do if you're going to, and then I would be more purposeful. So talking to people and mentioning, oh my God, my butt is so sore. I did the stupidest workout last night.
I do.
And then shut up.